punches. It's it was not a challenging situation that he was able to overcome. But right now, he's got a challenge here against Fortuna. And it's a fight that both these fighters have been looking forward to. For Fortuna, the nickname translates to the bumblebee, a reference to his hand speed. I'm wondering how he can use that hand speed to his advantage. Let's see a jab there. Just let him hammer out those ideas. See if we can get to a throw like a butterfly, speaking of a bumblebee, as a nod to the head. Diaz in the camo, Fortuna in the white. Diaz's last 4 fights are all southpaws. Expect plenty of power punches. If you go by the numbers, 1 minute left here in round 1. Both fighters, especially when it comes to how they earn for Fortuna, he's downloading the information right now. He's getting the timing of his feet down. When it comes to Diaz, he's always physical. He starts real fast with a combination, especially with the body.
Yeah, first of all, I think there'll be a few referee warnings in this fight. Javier Fortuna has a history of holding, rabbit punching. Asked Jojo Diaz about that this week. He said, look, he does it to me, I'm doing it back to him.
Yeah, that was interesting, and we'll get more into that, Chris. But you're right, Fortuna. I mean, listen, if I was to describe him, he's eccentric. He has a backstory here of doing things that run foul of what's allowed in the ring. So he can be a little bit temperamental, a little exciting, but right now trading blows with Diaz. And 10 seconds left in round 1. Trading blows, and Diaz got the better of it right there with a clean left hand body shot to close that round. Good round for Diaz. AutoZone, you get what you need when you need it. Got a today job? Pick it up free, same day at your local AutoZone. More of a tomorrow project? Order as late as 10 p.m. with free next day delivery. Getting the job done just got easier. The body's going in there, that little always got a little distance. Oh, it's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him. It's going to take him away. Guys are trying to go more. That's no big deal. You get to catch and follow it. He tries to go away. You're right there. Good boy. He's yours.
Wise words by a veteran in the game, a great trainer in Ben Lira in that corner there. If you're in boxing, if you're in Los Angeles, you know Ben Lira from South El Monte.
Round number 2, and Fortuna came in saying he didn't think he'd ever face Jojo in the ring. He thought Jojo would want him to move down to 126 or 130. Never thought it would happen. He was happy when he heard that Jojo was moving up to 135. And honestly, Chris, it's remarkable. Just you see the physicality right now, how different Jojo looks physically.
He looks stronger. And moving up in weight, people say, is going to be a good thing for him. I still have my questions, really, coming into this. He's only had, 3 or 4 fights. As 130-pounder is coming up from 122. Well, they have weight classes for a reason sometimes, and Fortuna has been at 135 for a while.
Talking about Fortuna's past, listen, against Granados, back in June of 18, he was deducted 2 points in round 4. First for rapid punching, and then for excessive holding. So this is a guy who, in the past, again, I'll use the word eccentric to it, Joe. Sometimes things run afoul.
If eccentric, dirty tactics, yeah, absolutely. Fortuna sometimes does that, but we're taught that. Like Diaz, when they hit him low, he's taught to hit low back. That's what we're talking to Jim, and that's what we do once we get up there. But you don't want to be excessive with it, so it's going to cost you the fight, of course.
Crowd might get a little combination there. Expect plenty of power punches in this one. You go by the numbers. You know, a lot of combined landed punches per round are power shots when it comes to Diaz and Fortuna, at least historically.
Fortuna fighting really relaxed. Diaz moved the pressure, doing the combinations, shots here and there, but I think Fortuna is still, getting the timing down and the speed and the power. He hasn't even reached his combinations yet.
Diaz is economical. He averages 52 punches thrown per round. Fortuna's less busy. He ends up throwing 46 punches thrown per round. So it's interesting to see that contrast in styles. 1 minute left here, round 2.
He's economical. Yes, he is, but he's also a gunslinger, especially once he lands something big. He has his opponent's hurt. He'll come after you.
Fortuna's continuing to get his fights postponed. He was disappointed, he was discouraged. He thought multiple times of leaving camp, not training for a fixed fight date, but he kept up in the gym because he knew something could happen anyway.
Kept up in the gym and stayed in Puerto Rico. He was sparring with former champion Abruptamente, and he had some great work down there. He kept busy.
10 seconds left here in round 2. Fortuna coming after Diaz there. Diaz able to block and shield himself a little bit from those power punches. And that concludes round 2 as we're just getting warmed up here in the co-main event between Jojo Diaz and Javier Fortuna. Do not forget, we've got more great action coming up right here in the zone as it's Zurdo Ramirez against Sullivan Ferreira. The main event is the light heavyweight here at the Banc of California Stadium in Los Angeles. The cowboy hat looks good. He's ready to ride on.
No, definitely looking good, and the crowd's going to love this one. I mean, every fight's been really action-packed. And credit to Roberto Diaz, the matchmaker and Golden Boy, because the crowd has been loving the action here at Banc of California.
Now, a lot on the line for Zurdo Ramirez in this one, but even more on the line for Sullivan Ferreira, who could be at the very end of his career if he loses this fight. 39 years old, lost 2 of his last 3. We could be witnessing Sullivan Ferreira's last stand.
With your back against the ropes in the last stand and you have power in both hands, you can be very dangerous.
Ferreira 22-3, 14 knockouts from Miami, Florida, facing Zurdo Ramirez, who is 41-0, 27 knockouts from Mexico. Round 3 underway. Jojo Diaz and Javier Fortuna.
And Sergio right away a more active Fortuna in this round, sticking that jab out early. If Jojo's going to come in like that, then throw some punches.
Jabbing and slinging those hooks. That's probably the best punch, the best punching from Javier Fortuna. He comes around the guard and a slingshot with both arms.
Looks like to me Jojo's kind of landed that chopping left hand on the inside. How's he able to do that?
Well, I mean, he's already breaking the distance now, so whenever you have the timing down, you can chop down with that left hand. But Fortuna's he's very patient. Those first 2 rounds at least, he started fast in this one.
We talked about patience. So Fortuna changed teams, another Puerto Rican team since that Granados fight. Got his head in the game, became more focused. He told us at the fighter meetings he knows he's getting old. He said Google says he's 32, but he just turned 30. He made some changes to his routine to adjust to his age, and so far looks good.
Yeah, working smarter, not harder. You hear that a lot when it comes to veteran fighters that have been in the game a long time. But whenever you're dealing with...
There you go. Both these guys getting warned by the referee. Next time they hit behind the head, it's going to be point taken away. This is going to be a variable in this fight. By the way, we allow to change our age.
Based on what Google says, Chris Manning's still a very youthful 20 years.
I've been schooling for 3 years.
Chopping left hand there on the inside, right?
Crisp combinations, I mean, from both. Fortuna's looking to counter, but right now the combinations are coming too fast from Diaz. They're being partially blocked, but that gives Diaz confidence when he's landing something.
Fortuna's going to trade pulse there.
Diaz is cut.
That, I believe, is the same area that Diaz was cut against Tevin Farmer 2 fights ago.
There will be blood, and the plot now thickens for Jojo Diaz, who was eager to overcome what happened last. He was not able to make weight, still fought to a draw, and now trying to prove himself. And now we'll see if he can contend with that, as we've got 30 seconds left in round 3.
Diaz got cut bleeding in that second fall fight. Another southpaw, by the way, really didn't hurt as much of an impact because it was on the right side of of the eye. It wasn't on the eyeball. If you get cut in the lip, the blood's not going in your eye.
Well, we're seeing different versions here of how they hold in this fight. Jojo, an aggressive boxer, but so is Fortuna.
Something's coming. The Tomorrow War is the #1 streaming movie in America.
Welcome to the future.
Y'all ready for some fun?
I'll get my coat.
I love this.
That should be fun.
Want to see something really dangerous?
Okay. The Tomorrow War. Watch now. Rated PG-13.
I'm up my line. He's ready to break it down. Yeah, he's breaking it down. You gotta keep working that body. Okay.
That cut right there, it wasn't intentional at all. It was just a clash of heads, and whenever you have that scar tissue, it's not going to take a big headbutt for it to reopen like that. Inadvertent clash of heads right there.
Well, now the plot thickens, so we can see how Jojo's able to deal with this. By the way, Fortuna, the last lefty he fought was Cuellar in 2019. That was his second to last fight. He doesn't fight lefties as much. They say he's been training a lot of them. He sparred with Alberto Machado, Hugo Rosario for his fight. So you see that, Chris. Sometimes these guys realize they have to deal with southpaw, adjust, and get ready.
Yeah, they do, no question. I'm going to see if Jojo Diaz has a back cut and go more than half the fight, dealing with and opening up at different times during each round.
Jojo's got something to prove. He wants to prove he can belong at 135. He knows the criticism people face, but not make him wait. Chris, you got your scorecard?
Yeah, I've got a 2-1 in favor of Jojo Diaz. I thought the work Javier Fortuna did the first half of the third round was enough to sneak out with the win, but a pretty solid start for Jojo Diaz.
Wow. The crowd well left there for Jojo.
Jojo right there. Fortuna got caught with this, getting a little bit too comfortable right there with that shoulder roll. That's what happens with that shoulder roll. It gets good to you, but once you get somebody that knows how to break that timing,
It's going to take a point.
I told you to make easy ones.
Sergio, was that too hair triggered by the referee taking a point away?
Well, listen, Fortuna got 2 warnings already. I would love to see Raul Calles Jr. was an excellent referee. Give Jojo one more chance there, but he must have saw something that we're not seeing there.
You heard Jojo say it was on the side. Look at, hey, Jojo's fired up right now. Gets the point taken away, and now invigorated here, coming out Fortuna.
And that's what Jojo was saying, that Fortuna turns his head, sometimes drops his head, and that's not his fault. He's just punching where the target is supposed to be. Fortuna did that with Robert Easter Jr. as well, and he deducted a point.
Fortuna said he came in trained to fight any way against Jojo. Aggressively like he normally fights against taller fighters, or the back foot like he normally fights against shorter guys. He said, the knockout comes straight, I'll go with the decision. And right now, he may be losing the scorecard, and maybe he feels confident about the fact he has drawn blood here at the end.
Drawn blood, and now he has that point. At 10-9 runs to the round.
Fortuna told us his straight left is his best punch. He's got equal power there, just wildly with that left. 30 seconds left here in round 4 as you can feel the action and intensity being ratcheted up a notch. Oh, man. Nice right there by Fortuna.
Good shot.
Right in the kisser.
He got Jojo accustomed to those jabs. Tricked him and came around with a right hook.
10 seconds left here in round 4. You saw that flurry from Jojo. A little jab there. And trying to finish this round with a statement. Got the point taken away, and the blood continues to trickle.
Very good, but you can't keep getting real close to him, okay? Don't worry about the right finish. You can't go in real close, okay?
Low blows, rapid punches, headbutts. Fortuna is known for dirty tactics, and these are the rapid punches that he's landing on the inside. And Diaz just returning the favor right there, because that's what we're taught to do. When they hit us low, we go right back.
Anderson, you get pressure.
You know, Diaz told us that coming into this fight. He says if he feels like Fortuna is hitting him some cheap shots, he's going to bounce back.
This isn't politics. When they go low, we go lower.
I was thinking that same quote. They go low, we go high.
Hey, you're doing the movie lines. Let me stick to the political lines.
One of us will get us in trouble, but it's all good. We're sharing a brain right now. I'm there for Sergio Mora.
Chris fans. No trouble here. Tom Grisham's not here.
I'm sure Chris is watching. We'll get his text message at some point. Right now, here on the zone, and we're thrilled to be with you right now in Banc of California. Stadium right now, Los Angeles, California. Diaz and Fortuna. I think you just feel the intensity ratcheting up right now, sir. You can feel the drive, you can feel both these fighters. There's more punches right now. Look at the combinations being thrown by Fortuna. And Diaz countering.
I think Fortuna senses that the tide is shifting there. He's coming out a lot more aggressive. This is Fortuna's fight. This is what I meant by swinging his shots.
The hit musical Hamilton. Midman Wolverine. He's not giving away his shot. And right now, Fortuna's trying to take the action and assert himself against Diaz. For Diaz, he's facing his 5th consecutive southpaw opponent and 6th of his last 8 fights. What is that like when you're facing a lefty, a lefty, a lefty?
Well, southpaws hate fighting other southpaws. They have the advantage by being a left-hander. But right here, neither of these guys have the advantage. If I had to give someone the advantage, it's Jojo Diaz, who fought so many left-handers. But Fortuna had that amateur background where, the amateurs, you fight every type of style, especially when you're fighting Cubans and Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. A lot of those guys are trained to be left-handers.
I love the old southpaw. Look back at Diaz. I that fight against Tevin Thorpe, they had plenty of trash talk and reported $20,000 side bet. Diaz scored the upset. He won the IBF title at 130, and he had the horrible eye cut caused by a butt in round 2. And now, once again, he's dealing with the blood right now.
Hey, we got a lot of southpaws on this card, especially in the main event.
And still to come is looking forward to Zulu Ramirez against Sullivan Barrera here in Los Angeles.
Good shot right there, overhand left by Fortuna.
It's almost like Jojo Diaz, to go back to the point, when he didn't make that weight at 135, it was almost like a career mulligan. No treadmill, no sauna. Okay, this is where he has to belong. So it's almost like people say, all right, that happens for fighters. You don't make weight. But he really wants to make a statement right now here in Los Angeles. The same is for Diaz. Ever since he got that point taken away, he's trying to win this fight. He's trying to outbox him. Use that punching power to great success. As there's 10 seconds left here in round 5. Felt like the action heated up there in round 4. Now 5 settling things down a little bit. Although a couple of good punches there.
I think the tide's turning a little bit, I think, for Fortuna. Last three rounds have been really, really good for him.
Good close there for Fortuna as we're through round 5. Round 6 coming up right here on DAZN. By the way, some notable faces sitting ringside. Hey, Bernard Hopkins eyeing all the action. Of course, the great Oscar De La Hoya has been wrapped with attention. And fresh from his knockout, Gabe Rosado as well.
Got an alien, a golden boy, and a king. And 3 handsome guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys right there.
Yeah. And I love the Hall of Fame trainer, Freddie Roach. The guy who has obviously trained so many great players. Jaime Munguia there as well.
A great Freddie Roach.
And Jorge Linares as well. Love the hat, love the shades. Good crowd here in Los Angeles. You got lots of pedigree in terms of the fighters and trainers and those who right now are ringside. For Jojo Diaz, 13 of his last 18 fights have gone the distance. So we're now at round 6 of 12. We'll see if he can battle back. He lost that belt in the scales for his first defense against Shavkat Rakhimov. It could be true in his most recent bout. Now with something to prove here against Fortuna. Fortuna, the native of the Dominican Republic, now training in the Boston area. He's a former WBA World Super Featherweight titleist.
Body shots by Jojo Diaz. Referee wants him to keep him up. I love the fact that he didn't get discouraged. Jojo's not discouraged. Moving right back after that warning.
They understand when Fortuna was discouraged coming in. He was scheduled to fight. Then WBC interim titleist Ryan Garcia. Garcia withdrew from the fight. Previously scheduled by Jorge Linares on August 20th of 2020. That fight was canceled after Linares tested positive. So he's got lots of aggression here right now. You can feel the crowd ramping up here in the 6th round.
Beautiful inside fighting by both fighters.
The nickname translates to the bumblebee, which is a reference to the hand speed of Fortuna. We're seeing that display here tonight. This combination there for Fortuna as he continues to stick and move. Looks pretty fresh there on the ring.
As a match, I'm still really loading up on those shots. Just touching him. Jojo loading up on these punches, but they're too far in between. This is nice round for Fortuna, bouncing, sticking and moving.
And that cut for Diaz, while causing a lot of blood to be spilled on his face, not in a bad place overall.
Good point, Chris. I was about to say 1 minute left here, round 6. We focused on it earlier, but it's being dealt with, as they say. It's not going to be overwhelming, it appears. It's right there. He's drawing a little bit.
I want to see more down to Jojo. He threw a nice combination downstairs. 3 or 4 punches to the body. Came up with a left uppercut that landed nicely on Fortuna's chin.
A little bit of chin music there. So we're almost halfway through the scheduled 12-round fight. The co-main event, Jojo Diaz Jr. against Javier Fortuna, the Bumblebee.
Love that nickname, man.
El Abejón.
Love the Bumblebee nickname.
Bumblebee too.
Jojo just missed with an overhand left right there.
Just a few seconds left here in the round, and both fighters content to dance and get back to their corner. Speaking of dancing, a lot of people have been doing that here in Los Angeles. When you go to check out the pier, was hoping to see Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora on the Ferris wheel. Clearly they were busy with other tasks today, multitasking, knocking up Chris's podcast. But the Banc of California Stadium is a beautiful sight here. I'd say if you come to see a soccer match, I can imagine being on the pitch would be a lot of fun, watching LAFC. Big one coming up, by the way, Italy and England tomorrow for the Euros, but it's not soccer, it's boxing right now. That is the focus here on the Zone.
Very good, very good. Yeah, he does. Now you put a little pressure on him.
But here's the other aspect now, is we're halfway through this fight. I wonder about this when it comes to Diaz, because when a guy, Sergio, you can speak to this, the guy doesn't make weight, they question their dedication. They say, come on, this is your goal, this is your task, you gotta make weight, even though it's incredibly difficult to do. So when you look at a guy like this, he's had to fight those issues, right? Battle for a point deduction. He's moving up in weight. I think this is a pretty important and a pretty impressive performance in a lot of ways from Jojo Diaz.
It's a responsibility of every champion to make weight. I mean, that's part of the fight, so that's part of the contract that you sign. By not making weight, it shows your unprofessionalism. So by doing that, you disappoint a lot of people, the promoters, the fans, and ultimately it impacts your performance.
Chris, how's the scorecard so far?
Yeah, close fight throughout. I've got it 57-56 for Jojo Diaz. You see a 9-9 round there. It is a 10-point must-miss for California, but for the purposes of the graphics, we're keeping it there so it's reflective of the accurate scorecard. That point deduction could loom large as this fight continues.
Jojo Diaz came in very confident. He's in his amateur pedigree. He's used to lefties. He's confident in his expertise. He feels that Fortuna is an elusive fighter. I think we've seen that a lot so far tonight in terms of the way that Fortuna can slip some of those punches.
And this is the way Fortuna fights when he's fighting a guy coming forward, and usually a shorter guy. He boxes on the back foot nicely. With taller opponents, like he did in his last fight, he goes forward looking for the big shots.
And Diaz is trying to go forward in his career as well. He knows it's a risky fight for him. He told us in the fighter meetings, this is all or nothing. I'm moving up in weight, I'm trying to demolish him, I'm trying to make a statement in Los Angeles, my hometown.
Well, a lot at stake because if JoJo wins this fight, a very easy fight to make and a marketable fight is JoJo against Ryan Garcia at 135. So, a lot of money on the line for JoJo.
It makes sense for Ryan Garcia to fight either of these guys because he's coming off a big win with Luke Campbell. Now it's time for him to face a former champion, something like JoJo Díaz.
Fortuna says a straight left is his favorite punch, but he's got the same strength in both hands, and we're seeing that arsenal so far tonight. Seconds left here in round 7. Feels pretty evenly matched so far. Here's Chris Max's scorecard for the eye test. If you're ringside or watching in the zone, both fighters right now stepping up to the challenge in what has been a very taut and tense affair so far.
You're way better shape than that. Yeah. You beat him to the punch.
Coming up next, we got Zurdo Ramirez. Should be a fantastic fight. Light heavyweight, 12 rounds, as he's facing Sullivan Barrera here at the Bank of California Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Zurdo is 41-0. The Mexican fighter has 27 knockouts at the age of 30, fighting at 174.6 pounds against Sullivan Barrera, the veteran from Miami. As you can see, Zurdo, charismatic, charming. There's a reason why so many right now curious to see what he can do with an unblemished record on the line later on tonight. Right now, we've got a really good fight taking place between JoJo Díaz and Javier Fortuna. After JoJo suffered that cut in the third round, he's been able to settle things down right now. It's been a very evenly matched fight. Fortuna has won 36 of his 39 professional bouts. 2 defeats, the only draw, the blights on his book. But sparring with lefties a lot coming in. He's training in Puerto Rico during the pandemic, and so far looks fresh. Diaz's 5th straight fight, by the way, against an opponent of a different nationality. 5-1-1 record in 12-round contests. And I know we still got a few rounds to go, Sergio, but this feels like it's going to go the distance.
No, it definitely is going to go the distance. Most of the knockouts on his record was when he fought at 122. At 135, that's left point out there by Díaz. Fortuna returns it with only round left.
Nice combination there by Fortuna. Just trying to work the inside on Diaz. To your point, Diaz, 6 of his last 7 fights have gone the distance. He's never had 4 consecutive fights settled by the scorecards. And as Chris was telling us earlier, that scorecard is awfully close right now.
Now, I like the discipline that Javier Fortuna has been showing. He's strictly boxing here. He can easily make this a firefight, but he's disciplined behind the jab, and it's a close fight.
Well, because of that, Sergio, I think I'd like to see Fortuna open up a little bit. He's a naturally bigger fighter. Maybe see what a firefight gets him.
You think you should engage JoJo a little more?
Or maybe he's already respected the pressure and the strength of JoJo Díaz at this weight class. Either way, either he's disciplined or he's cautious of something.
Is it best for him to fight off the back foot?
Well, he's versatile. He fights really good on the inside, as we're seeing right here. Fortuna's landing some good body shots. There's an excellent round. You know, both of them are shining in what they do well. But Fortuna's doing really well to the body.
Fortuna has said he's become more focused as he's gotten older, more stronger. 25 of his wins have come via stoppage, but 19 of those knockouts going to be inside the opening 2 rounds. This, though, you can clearly tell, is a matchup of endurance, these two fighters.
It's going to come down to endurance in these last 3 or 4 rounds, because you see the body language changing a little bit. You see Diaz holding on a little bit longer. The punches aren't as fast, but they're still landing.
Fortuna has won 6 of his 7 professional bouts against opponents with 30 or more wins to their name, so he's used to experienced fighters. But as you said, sir, you can tell this guy's just holding on right now, as you'll recognize.
That's a smart thing for you to do right there. Back it when you're tired, hold on and back up. Your fighter, make him lose his legs going backwards.
People yelling from the crowd, give him a feint and then throw him. So we go through 8.
¿Siente bien? ¿Cómo está el aire? ¿Viste cómo está descansado? Ese es el trabajo, tú tienes que echártelo para atrás y trabajar tu mano, vamos a sacarle esta pelea.
You gotta work your hands. Come on, you gotta win this fight.
¿Tú me entiendes? Se lo ganamos. ¿Ok? Te quedan 4 asaltos para trabajar así.
4 rounds on that.
Esta pelea. Javier, tú tienes el plan, ¿cierto o falso? Vamos.
Come on, you know the plan. You gotta go.
75. Él tiene 50. Oíste. ¿Ok? Vamos a evitar el millón de abajo, ¿no? ¿No? Ese es el trabajo, vamos. Trabaja mi mano de poder. Te sale fuerte, no te sale fuerte. Te sale fuerte, no te sale fuerte. Trabájame las de poder, vamos.
Start fast, finish fast.
And say this about Fortuna, coming in, one of the words that people use to describe him is eccentric. He fell into the ring and hurt himself.
Yeah, against Adrian Granados, it reminded me of Trone, actually, when he fought Paul Williams. It kind of looked like he wasn't pushed out very, it was really awkward the way he fell out, but it's very dangerous jumping out like that and getting hit with something.
We talked before, he's been doctor points the rabbit punches, so he's definitely unpredictable. Sometimes strange things happen, but he's been at 135 longer than Diaz. If locked in, looks like he can pull off the victory. Still a ways to go. He's lost to Robert Easter, lost to Jason Sosa. Before Fortuna moved up in weight 2017, officially at 135.
It's the kind of pace Fortuna needs to fight at, though. He needs to be the one walking Diaz down. For most of this fight, it has been Diaz that's dictated the pace.
Yeah, Fortuna's had a roller coaster career in terms of victories and losses, but also how his fights unfold. So to Chris's point, it's no surprise that the fight has been kind of up and down. And as you said, with Chris's scorecard, it's very close. So do you think that Fortuna should engage Diaz a little more? Is it okay to fight off the back foot?
I think right now both of them are showing a little bit of fatigue and they're fighting on the inside. And I think Diaz is learning some good shots on the inside. Fortuna with the hooks on top.
Two contrasting styles.
Body shots on the inside, but look, Fortuna comes right back with the headshot. I like the body punches from Diaz more than I do the headshots right now, because they all go in with the shots. Both these fighters, when it looks like they land, they're turning their face and taking the heat off the punch.
Not quite slipping the punch, but taking the heat off. Good point. Minute left here in round 9. That exchange.
You never wrong with that one. 3 shots right there by Diaz. 3 punches in a row. And I like the uppercuts in this round. The body shots in the uppercut. I pulled them apart right here in this last minute. You can see the body language right there. The legs are kind of fading away from Fortuna a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't like how Fortuna responded to that 3-punch combination that Diaz hit him with. Looked like it rocked him pretty significantly. Now, he's on his back foot.
It's the body punches. I think the body punches are finally taking their toll. That's what Joseph Díaz is known for. Activity, body work.
Take out the body, the crowd will fall. 10 seconds left right now between Jojo Diaz and Javier Fortuna, the co-main event of the WBC interim lightweight title. Good stuff so far, as we'll see how much longer this one will go. Round 10 is coming up.
¿Cómo te sientes, papi?
How do you feel?
Yo de nuevo, ¿verdad?
I feel good. I feel like new.
Dame una botella de agua, corre. Ahí, Javier,
Some water.
trabajaste muy bien este round. ¿Te sientes cómodo ahí?
You look really good this round. You feel comfortable?
Cógeme aire, papi. Cógeme aire fuerte, vamos. Hey, este es de nosotros, Torero.
Both guys letting it go, leaving everything on the table, back and forth, every punch on the book, the body shots. See, those are the ones that I think are the more eye-catching, but Fortuna coming right back as well. That three-punch combination, like Chris mentioned, I think caught the attention and took a little bit of the legs of Javier Fortuna in that round, but it was a good round for both fighters.
Yeah, that was the kind of round-stealing combination that Diaz needed in a very close round for the judges to score.
Round 10 right now between Diaz and Fortuna, and we wondered about just the conditioning, you know. When you come into this fight, Fortuna had boxed just 8 rounds in his last 2 fights, following 3 fights that went the distance. He had the no-decision bout and the misfortune of falling out of the ring in the 4th round against Adrian Bernardo. So if that was thought to be a storyline, both guys so far have certainly shown a lot of power and stamina in this match. How about the change in physique for Diaz? Like we mentioned before, he was not able to make weight, but he looks more comfortable now at 135, and it looks like he hurt Fortuna that last round.
Took things out with the opponents of Joseph Díaz. When he fought Tevin Farmer didn't give him credit for moving up to 130. We've seen what happened. Diaz won. In the fighter meetings, Fortuna was doing the exact same thing, saying that he's not going to carry the power. He's not going to be able to take my strength and my size. And we can see, obviously, who's on the back foot.
Rest of the scorecard, you've got Diaz.
Yeah, I got 87-83 in favor of Jojo Diaz. It's a really impressive performance at this point for Diaz. He's doing exactly what he said he's going to do. He's walking Fortuna down. He has been largely the bigger puncher. He's in control at this stage of the fight.
Fortuna's won 6 of his 7 professional bouts against opponents with 30 or more wins to their name. So he's used to experienced fighters, but right now, at least the way Chris is scoring it, Fortuna's got a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, Jojo Diaz ahead by 1 round. I think he's fighting really relaxed right now. He's just flowing really nice. He's stepping back. He's not even putting a lot of power in those shots anymore. He's just smooth. He's on cruise control right now.
Good shots there from Fortuna, especially to the left. But how about the change in physique for Diaz? I mean, he looks more powerful.
Yeah, when you're going up in weight, it's hard to look like you belong in that weight division, but Diaz looks muscular at this weight. He doesn't look soft.
It's the right kind of weight he's at it. And that cut where he got clipped earlier, we thought was a story, but that really hasn't been there.
And credit to Ben Nero. Fantastic coach, but he's a cut man as well.
Man, how about Diaz now putting the pressure on Fortuna? Exchanging punches, the crowd loves it.
And this is what I expected earlier. Fortuna got rocked right there.
Both guys going toe-to-toe now. Fortuna was on the ropes, was able to cut back. A thrilling conclusion to round 10.
That's how you gotta close them up. You just gotta be a bad dog, okay? You gotta turn into it.
And this is the way you want to start closing the show here. Right uppercut, left straight hand. I mean, those shots, you got to give Fortuna credit for taking those shots. But it's Diaz seeing blood, seeing red coming forward, landing some mean shots in that round.
Nothing quite like being ringside at a fight that you can feel the excitement, and it's palpable right now as we go to the 11th round. Joseph Díaz continues to be the aggressor, as Fortuna has to know at this point he's got work to do to try to win this fight.
Confidence is sky high in the corner of Diaz. You can see it in the body language, in the face, in the way he's coming forward. Jojo Diaz he's on right now.
Seen it on the trunks of Jojo Diaz, his baby boy about to turn 18 months. I'm inspired by him. And so far, very confident in the ring. Wanting to make a statement, LA, his hometown. Felt that Fortuna is an elusive fighter. He said that coming in. And so far, it's been Diaz able to administer a little more punishment.
See right here, Fortuna should keep punching at the gloves of Diaz. Diaz is kind of taking this round off. He's not going to hit with anything cleanly, but it's a round that Fortuna can pick up by just being active, punching at those gloves, just like that. Those are arm punches.
It's a great point. Boxers know you got to take the round off, conserve energy. The body shot there, delivered by Fortuna.
Diaz, no respect for the power of Fortuna. Just the entire fight coming forward, welcoming the combinations of Javier Fortuna.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with how Diaz's chin has held up at this weight class. He had a good chin at 126, at 130. Coming up, facing a legitimate puncher at 135. He's been excellent.
A short left uppercut has been excellent as well from Diaz. Get Fortuna in check.
Good exchange of blows there. The crowd's loving it. Under a minute to go here, round 11. Fortuna now trying to assert himself in the combination. Mrs. Wilder there with a couple of rights. Jojo Diaz has won one and lost when it comes to previous world title shots. His fifth straight opponent of a different nationality. Right now, with the crowd behind him. Listen, Jojo's been quite candid about his mental health, overcoming losing his title. A performance like this is speaking volumes.
Yes, it is. It's putting a lot of fighters on notice. Jojo Diaz is back. I'm surprised Fortuna is so comfortable now, not going aggressive like he was earlier.
Certainly was not engaging, and now he's got one more round to go. Clearly, his corner should be telling him this is it.
I'm gonna rest it a little bit. Yeah, let me see this. Yeah, okay. Let me see a low.
Stay tight, Jojo. Just stay tight and follow with your counter punching.
Okay. Don't be waiting for it. Don't be waiting. How's that? Good?
Hey,
¿Ah?
Cuando tú estás tirando, tú no le puedes dar break a él. Está bien. Porque si no, él te tira. Vamos, no lo dejes tirar.
And keep throwing at him, or else he's going to counter you every time.
Yo soy el papi.
nice classy moment there between these two fighters. They realize they put on quite a show so far. It's been a noticeable swing in momentum here, Chris, especially from Diaz in the last 3 rounds.
It has been. I thought Fortuna escaped with a round in that last one, but I just see early on, he has to know he's down the scorecards. He's letting his hands go early.
Chris's scorecard right now, you got Diaz in the lead, right?
Yeah, 106, 102 in favor of Jojo Diaz. Fortuna's got to do something special, at least in my mind, to come away with the win of this fight.
And what can Fortuna do to try to turn this thing around?
I think he's going to have to drop Jojo Diaz. I have Diaz ahead in this fight, comfortably by 3 rounds. Fortuna needs a knockdown, at least a knockdown, like climbing back into this fight.
punch there in the back of the head. He spun it out for a second. Fortuna says he's focused more as he's gotten older, a bit more stronger, but he has to realize in this moment he needs to step up big time. Only a minute 40 left in this fight. Easier said than done. The comedy box numbers for the last round. Fortuna was able to be right around Perry. He threw a lot more, but around the same number that landed. So it's interesting how Jojo, even when Fortuna tries to up the ante, Diaz has been more successful. 1 minute left now to fight as Diaz and Fortuna letting it all hang out. Let's see if we'll get a flurry here in the final minute.
That was an excellent right hand by Jojo Diaz that clipped Fortuna. Saw his head spin all the way to the side.
Some high-level, high-skill stuff right here on the inside by both fighters, but Jojo Diaz just a little bit cleaner with the combinations coming through, the hunger, the body language.
30 seconds away from this fight going the distance. Now both guys up in the ante. Look at Diaz. And Fortuna trying to respond. He knows what's at stake. The final 10 seconds of what's been an entertaining fight between Diaz and Fortuna. And both guys say, yeah, I got this. Diaz there with the footwork. He's celebrating. Fortuna's like, I'm celebrating too. This is a great fight.
It's a great fight. There was a lot of close rounds, but I think Jojo Diaz won this comfortably. But man, what an entertaining fight.
Definitely was entertaining. How about that showmanship there? Yeah, both guys raising their fists.